Bills, Chargers, Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers, T-Law going to play Week 16. Playoff Lenny is back. Leonard Fournette, if you need some sort of, desperation grab just in case something goes haywire in this Bills-Chargers game and Leonard Fournette gets injected into some carries and workload, who the hell knows? I'm not saying it's a great option. I'm just saying it's something that we need to look at, talk about. Devonta Smith returned to Eagles practice. That's good news. We got a lot to break down. Also, Zach Moss news right here, downgraded. We're going to break down all of that and more. Trevor Lawrence, Law Dog, is active Week 16. You've got some dilemmas. I've got some, hopefully I've got some answers. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Trevor Lawrence, the Law Dog, is going to play Week 16. Cleared the concussion protocol. This is great news for anybody that was in a QB dilemma. Now, some of you had some pretty decent alternatives, and now you're maybe even more confused because you got T-Law or an option that you were like settling on, like Minshew or Browning today, and you're like, I'll just go with Browning. It's fine. I've accepted it. I've accepted my fate. And now T-Law's entered the chat. Hit that like button on your way in the door. 63 of you in here. Appreciate you all. File on in. As you file in, hit that like button. Trevor Lawrence, I'm feeling pretty good about T-Law. I don't think it's the safest start ever, but I think he's absolutely capable of 2 touchdowns, maybe 3, but something along the lines of 2 touchdowns, 250 yards. Decent little outing. This is good for Ridley. This upgrades Calvin Ridley quite a bit. This is good for ETN. It's good for everybody involved. Evan Ingram. If T-Law wasn't in there, downgrade everybody. So this is more so fantastic news for the other players involved, not just T-Law. As for, we'll get to the Bengals-Steelers, Buffalo Bills, Chargers breakdown and pregame. I just want to hit this news real quick. Devonta Smith knee returned to Eagles practice Saturday. Fully expected to play at this moment. I don't fear any sort of restriction or snap count or anything like that. So definitely expect Devonta Smith to be ready to rumble for you in Week 16. And I think the Eagles are going to be out to make some noise and put some naysayers in their place. Now, granted, this is not like a matchup, where we expect the Eagles to really even struggle. And people will always say, oh, Eagles only win against, easy matchups and they're still going to struggle. It doesn't matter. The Eagles need to get back on the horse. The Eagles need to score points. The Eagles need to feel what it's like to punch the football into the end zone over and over and over. And I believe that Devonta Smith will be a big part of that. Let's hit these other 2 pieces of news, and then we'll move on to the game, the pregame. Kenneth Walker, we talked about this yesterday. Questionable shoulder, is expected to play Week 16. In case anybody missed that, there was a little bit of that news yesterday. Zach Moss, forearm has been downgraded to out, which means that Jonathan Taylor, who is going to play Week 16, it's already been known, already been stated, already been said, already been accepted. JT's going to play. This news that Moss is out means that JT is a very, very, very safe play. And there's not a big threat of, okay, is he going to come back and get 40, 50% of the work? Is he going to come back and see Moss score 2 or 3 touchdowns and us go, what in the hell is going on here? So JT becomes a very, very solid play. That is the news other than this piece right here, this little beauty. The Bills are elevating running back Leonard Fournette from the practice squad to play tonight against the Chargers, as the player once dubbed Lombardi Lenny, playoff Lenny, hamburger helper Lenny. A lot of people have coined this guy a lot of different things, but one thing we can say right now is Lenny's in good shape. Look at him, he's right there. Look how fit he looks. He's absolutely in good shape. So let's just say this. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I want to act like this is. I've always been a big Leonard Fournette, not doubter or hater necessarily, but just, I liked him early on in his career. But I mean, he looks in fantastic shape, and they're saying, Quadzilla, step aside. They're saying this guy is absolutely ripped, and he looks it. And if they give him some work and he looks pretty good, and let's say, just knock on wood, I'm not saying anything could happen to any of the other players. I don't even want to mention names. I don't want to put any bad vibes out there. But if something were to happen, this is one of those situations where, in a very, very weird, set of circumstances and turns of events, that something could evolve. So like, do you grab him just to block an opponent from having some sort of running back option? I don't know. I don't know if you have room for that. I don't know if it's even worth it. I don't know if he'll get a single carry tonight. But he was elevated to play tonight, and you do wonder what that's going to look like with a new offensive coordinator, some running heavy approach that they're kind of displaying and implementing in this offense with this new direction under the new OC. I'm just a little intrigued at how good a shape this guy is, and what this could mean if a door opened, is all I'm saying. If a door opened, Cook is the man. Cook is the man. He's not relinquishing any sort of, volume or carries. But what if they get up big? My thinking is here that the Bills expect to clobber two pieces, the Chargers, later, who are a garbage team right now from top to bottom. Management, ownership, it feels like, they can't even support the quarterback. This is a garbage situation, and they're probably going to get clobbered by the Buffalo Bills. So what happens when this team wants to rest their starters really early on in the fourth quarter, or maybe late third quarter? If they're up super big, you're probably going to see playoff Lenny out there just doing a little work, see what he can do, see how good he looks, and I have a feeling he's going to potentially rip off a couple. But neither here nor there. Do what you can with this information. No one's saying Dalvin Cook. No one's saying James Cook's losing his job or anything like that. But, if you've got James Cook, why not grab playoff Lenny? You know what I'm saying? This message maybe is mainly for the Cook owners. If you've got James Cook, why not grab playoff Lenny? Why not drop somebody that you don't think you'll ever use in the next 2 weeks? Pick up playoff Lenny. Put him on your bench. Cuff him to Cook. He's clearly the cuff right now. I think. Lat Murray's still in the picture, but as for this game here, Bengals are likely to clobber the Steelers, but this is the NFL. Anything can happen. I like Jaylen Warren a little bit. Pickens is almost dead to me right now. The way this guy doesn't give a crap. The Steelers offense is very putrid. The Steelers situation is very putrid. The defense, good defense on paper, right, has been playing not quite like the Steeler defense we've all kind of expected, because the offense is making the defense tired. The defense is always on the field. There's injuries up and down. I expected Browning to have at least a 2, maybe 3 TD day. I think Higgins is about good for 90 and a touch. I think Mixon's probably going to have at least 1 touchdown and probably 90 to 100 total yards. I think Chase Brown, good for about 55 yards total. Who knows if he gets a score. Buffalo Bills side of this thing, I think Josh Allen runs for a touchdown, throws for, let's call it 2. I think Diggs bounces back in a major way. I think maybe Cook receives one of those touchdowns. That doesn't mean Cook can't have a good day. I think everybody expecting this team to only run the ball moving forward. I don't know that that's the right way to pick this offense, but I will say that there's definitely a strong potential that this team gets up big and they want to run the ball again. So could there be a world where Josh Allen doesn't have to do a whole lot, Diggs doesn't have to do a whole lot to win this game? Yeah, there's that chance. And then sitting, resting players, in the fourth quarter, definitely a possibility. So that's why I think playoff Lenny was activated. I think playoff Lenny was activated because they said to themselves, Cook is doing well. James Cook's doing well, and we better make sure we don't overwork him. because we got a playoff to worry about. We're in contention here. We're on our way
to the moon,
to grabbing a playoff spot, a wild card spot, or maybe a division. Who the hell knows? No division win. But this is there's a playoff spot waiting for the Buffalo Bills. They need to win out. And I think they really believe this game is going to get potentially out of hand. Now, maybe they're wrong. Maybe the Chargers come out and win this game. This is the NFL. Any team can beat any team on any given day. But they need playoff Lenny, I think, because they do not want to burn Cook out once they get up to a big lead. They might not even want to burn out Lat Murray. We might just see playoff Lenny get 1 carry or 15 fourth quarter carries. We have no clue. Chargers, Eckler, I don't know. If I got Eckler, I'm probably playing him. And I do have him. I mean, this is actually a question. Smitty, you have Eckler. Are you playing him? Yes. I got him in the Marsman League. What am I going to do? Sit him for who? You know, you can't find a flex spot for Eckler. If you have, let's say, an Achane or somebody like Kenneth Walker, then yeah, put him in. But you play in a grandma league. We have real world problems out here. Real world problems would be, okay, do I sit Eckler for this garbage player? The answer is no. Like you can almost definitely, unless you play in the most grandma league around, I think Eckler could fit into your flex play. And quite honestly, I'm torn on how washed he is. I think he's definitely washed for 2024. I'm not going near him. Not unless he's a super deep pick. You know, like think where we got Alvin Kamara. You know, like that was worth the risk, right? Kamara, absolutely. I know he dropped an egg on all of you this week, but he's been there for you. He got you here. And if Eckler goes in that territory, sure. But 2024, not even thinking about 2024. Who cares about Eckler in 2024? Unfortunately, he's 20. He's going to be 29 years old. He's already fading right now. However, I do think I saw flashes of what he still potentially could do in the next 1 or 2 weeks. Only a little run, little spurt. And I think there's more there than people think. Now, will the Chargers allow him to produce that little amount that's left? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they have no clue how to get the football to him now. Maybe they don't have a desire to get the football to him now. Maybe they think he's washed and we think, okay, he's washed for the future, but he's got a couple weeks left. Maybe a little surge, little Zeke Elliott surge, you know. But is there a guarantee the Chargers can even get it done? I don't know. I don't think we have any sort of answer there. I just know I'm probably playing him. Need to Eckler, Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler. I'll probably go Eckler, Ty Chandler, but you're not crazy to go Ty Chandler and Aaron Jones. You really aren't. Aaron Jones is a decent play. He's not a horrible play. B-Men need 2.5. ETN, Bijan, Ken Walker. I'm going probably ETN and Ken Walker. I do believe Bijan's still a good play this week. I wouldn't call it a great play, but I'd say a good play. But Kenneth Walker feels safer, B-Men. I want you to start Bijan. I really do. I don't know if there's a way to fit him in, but it sounds like no. But I do very, very much like Bijan. Eagles have moved Devonta Smith off the injury report for Monday night's game. So Devonta Smith even upgraded from the report I just put on the screen. Devonta Smith is no longer even on the injury report. DJ Moore or Gibbs. Anything could happen, Trey. I don't want to make fun of this question because that's how I get in trouble. But I would say I'm not sitting Gibbs, bro. I'm not. Hey, Smitty, I find a way to play both those guys. And if not, you're in a grandma league, you know, easy problems for you. You know, DJ Moore on your bench, boo-hoo. I'm just messing with you, bro. But good God, man. Good God. Top Gun. Hey, Smitty, pick one. Pacheco, Smith, or Rice if Jacobs don't play. Also, I'm choosing Dolphins D or Broncos D. Probably Dolphins D if it's me. And pick one, Pacheco, Smith, or Rice if Jacobs doesn't play. Jacobs probably will play. But I don't know that I'm starting Jacobs over Rice anyway. I think Rice and PPR is probably safer. Smith I like a little more than Jacobs anyway. So I don't know that I just shoved Jacobs in there coming off injury. But I don't hate Jacobs. He's a solid play. These are all very, very close calls. I think I might go Pacheco's even solid. You just don't know. Look, I don't know. This is Top Gun. These are players that should have been, and I know you probably tried, put together for some sort of trade upgrade. This is too many players to have on your bench. You can't have Jacobs, Pacheco, Devonta Smith, Rashee Rice. These are grandma problems, Top Gun. We needed to consolidate this into one player, but good God, man. I would probably say if I had to choose, I really want to say Devonta Smith or Rice. PPR, put them in, plug them in, do it live. Appreciate you, Top Gun. Appreciate you for all your support. And Trey, I was just joking with you on your question, my buddy boy. What was Trey's question again? DJ Moore, Gibbs. I'm not sitting Gibbs. Or was that Trey's I was talking about? I don't know. Oh, maybe it's B-Man's question too. That was crazy. Trey, thank you, Trey. Top Gun, appreciate you with your question. Heating Podcast, appreciate you. Heating Up says lineup recommendations. Right now I have Love, Gibbs, Achane, Rice, Amon-Ra, Chandler. On the bench I have Ayuk, Noah Brown, Warren, Reed. Okay, the only one really here worth putting in, well, Tua or Love. Honestly, I'd go back and forth on that one. Tua's got a really tough matchup, but at the same time, sometimes that elevates a player's game. I don't know that we always should just be benching players against tough matchups. I don't think Dallas is a defense where your players can't explode. Like, Dallas is opportunistic. They're very, very good, but they can be scored on. I guess Love is maybe a tad safer. Tua's got higher upside, maybe higher risk, but higher upside. So that one's kind of preference. Love probably is a tad safer. As far as your other options here, the only one you have to maybe consider would be Ayuk, but who are you going to take out? Chandler? You could. Maybe Ayuk's a tad safer than Chandler. Chandler does have some massive upside, though. And I don't know that Ayuk has less upside, though. Like, I'll probably say Ayuk feels safer than Chandler. Thank you, Heating. Appreciate you. Does anybody agree, disagree? Ayuk or Chandler? Chandler or Ayuk? And Tua or Love? Please vote on that for our boy. Tua, Love, please vote on that. And Ayuk and Chandler, vote on that. If it's PPR, I kind of lean Ayuk. And I think it's easy to say no because Chandler is exciting and we love Chandler, but Ayuk could have a monster game. He does that. He rotates having those. Goddard or Ferguson? I'd probably say Fergie's safer. Goddard's higher risk, higher reward. I might go Goddard. McLaurin or Warren at flex? I'd probably go Warren given McLaurin's horrible Jet matchup. Sit 1.5, JT, ETN, Walker, Gibbs. I'd probably sit, I mean, again, look at these problems, man. I guess I set Walker here, but by a hair. Walker or JT. I'm not sitting ETN. I'm not sitting Gibbs. Walker or, I probably sit Walker, but I hate that question. Pick 2, Zeke, Walker, Bijan, Cooper, Kupp. Or no, I'm sorry, Amari Cooper. I'd probably go Walker and Bijan. But if you wanted to stay away from any risk at all, Cooper is safer. Cooper and Walker would be safest, but I would go Walker, Bijan personally. Connor over Eckler, I probably would for safety, yeah. They're both solid plays, but PPR flex, I need one. K9 Rice, Ty Chandler. I'd probably go Rice if it's full PPR, and it looks like it is. Rice is just very safe, bro. Very consistent, but all those are great options. Tua or Mayfield. Mayfield's a tad bit safer. You know, maybe 2 TDs, almost guaranteed, it feels, unless you were to get hurt. Tua could have 1 touchdown or 3 or 4. So you got to pick your poison there. Can we vote on Tua Mayfield in the chat, please? And Packers with a super chat. How do you rank Kincaid, Kmet, and Likely? I go Likely, and as much as I love Kmet, and as much as I think there's upside with Kincaid, and there's just no, Likely's the almost locked-in player at this point, the way he's playing. Rock out, you're live. What can I do for you?
Yeah, you think Komet plays?
Who?
Komet.
Komet? I don't know. I'll look up Komet and see if there's anything new on him at all. Who's your other option?
I had Taysom Hill, but I got couple people out, so I can get another tight end like Everett or Hudson, but that's that's today though.
Yeah, as far as last I heard, and nothing's changed. It's just a thigh. It's not like he's, sometimes the thigh issue's like a bruise or whatever. It doesn't sound like he tore anything. And the last I heard is the expectation is he'll play. So keep on it. Unless there's a setback, I would fully expect Kmet to play.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, T-Law or Baker? Who would you go?
T-Law or Baker?
Mm-hmm.
If T-Law is healthy, T-Law. If not, Baker.
All right, rock out. Appreciate you. Later, bro. Little Nicky,
right.
I probably go T-Law, but man, Baker's not a bad play. Baker's a pretty decent play. Similar to the other question, that Baker question. It's like what was it, Tua or Baker? That's really tough, or whatever it was. Even Tua, if it wasn't Tua or Baker, that'd still be a tough question. Pick one: Chase Brown, Dillon, Zamir White, or Justice Hill. God, these are not the best options. Of course, if Jacobs sits, which I don't think will happen, he's trending toward playing Zamir White. If Jacobs plays, I'm going Chase Brown. But Lucas, these are like coin flips. But I appreciate the super chat, and you are the man, the myth, the legend. All right, dial in. Very short amount of phone calls. As we head into kickoff of this game. I appreciate everybody being here. Hey, Smitty, need to choose between Travis Kelce and Trey McBride. Also, need to choose either Cleveland D or Buffalo. I'd probably go Buffalo. I think Buffalo's going to have a nice little day. They're both good plays, though. They're both very good plays. I would lean Buffalo. I think Buffalo has a good day. I'll be honest, Adam. I can't tell you to sit Travis Kelce, but I also can't tell you to sit Trey McBride. So my question would be, can you play one of them in the flex? I'll try and look for your answer here. If I had to pick, McBride has been outscoring Kelce, so you almost have to go McBride if you had to choose. But I'm telling you right now, I would if you put McBride into your tight end spot, I find it very hard to believe that there's not a strong consideration for Kelce over your flex spot. So I'll look for your question, Adam, but I don't think I can tell you. I can tell you not to sit McBride, but I cannot tell you to sit Travis Kelce in the same breath. Al from New York. What's up, Al?
Hey, Smitty. If I wanted to talk to you, have a Merry Christmas. 2 quick questions. Full PPR, do you like Waddle or Ridley? And the other question is Zeke or Pollard?
I like Ridley. I really still do. And Trevor Lawrence playing is good, but you can't sit Waddle. Tough matchup, but guess what? Sometimes, like Tyreek Hill, who I do think will play, will get a lot of, focus from that defense. So Waddle should have some open receiving lanes and catch some footballs and do pretty well. And he came off a big game. I feel like he's in a groove. I feel like Tua's in a groove. I feel like this offense is in a groove. Pollard for me. I think I would go Pollard and I'd go Waddle. Those are like your studs, bro. You gotta kind of keep it going. Don't get too cute or try and outthink yourself. You lose starting your main players. You can't have anything. You shouldn't be ashamed of anything. But you make some kind of crazy move, you're gonna be upset at yourself.
Yeah, I was kind of leaning the Ridley side. Just want to get your thoughts on it. With Kirk out, Zay Jones, I think he's hurt. So
trust your gut. I like Ridley this week. I do like him. With T-Law playing, I like him. But I don't think I'm sitting Waddle. Like, who would be the other player that you could sit?
Another player I could sit. I got JT and Achane in my flex, and then I got Breece Hall. And my receiver, the core of my team is mostly good running backs. My wide receivers are St. Brown, Waddle, Ridley.
Let's do this. Let's have the chat rank Breece Hall, Waddle, and Ridley. Rank those 3 players. That should help you. I think your dilemma is with Breece Hall and Ridley, not with Waddle and Ridley. And I'm not saying sit Breece Hall, but he is more vulnerable to a bad game script and more volatile. So let's have the chat vote. Waddle, Hall, Ridley. Please vote those 3 for Al.
Would you do Zeke over Hall?
No.
Zeke is up against technically a better.
I don't care who Zeke's up against. Zeke is averaging 2 yards per carry. You know,
I would lose with Hall on the bench.
Well, I don't want you to lose with Hall on the bench either, but like I'd rather lose with Ridley on the bench than lose with Hall on the bench, or lose with Ridley on the bench than lose with Waddle on the bench, I think. But they're all really, really good options, but I just want to see Ridley hasn't been there enough for you to sit here and go, oh, start your studs, but I don't know, bro.
I hear you.
I would say look what Waddle just did, and we haven't seen Ridley doing that. So like, what would make you be like, let's go ahead and just, you know, I'm not, and again, I'm not saying to sit Hall for anybody watching right now. I'm not telling him to sit Hall for Ridley. I'm just saying that's your dilemma. Waddle, I think, earned his spot.
Yeah. All right.
But trust your gut, bro. Trust your gut. Don't go if I'm completely changing your mind and you're not like wavering, then trust your gut, because guess who's gonna remember this on Monday, and and guess who's not. I'm not gonna probably even think about it. You're gonna be the one stewing and going, damn it, Smitty. So make sure I'm not changing your mind. But read the chat, see what the chat can help influence you. Hall is getting a big vote, so I don't think you're sitting Hall. Waddle's getting a heavy vote. No, what I'm not seeing is Ridley very often ranked at 1 or 2 out of those 3.
Yeah.
But some people are. Also, you got to be a little bit careful of, people have Ridley, so they're voting Ridley. I don't know, bro. Trust your gut. Like, here's the argument against Waddle, okay? And some of you in the chat have said this. He didn't have Hill in there last week. He was forced to be the number 1. He's vanished just as much as Ridley. Some people are saying Ridley over Waddle. Someone says, I would sit Hall. I wouldn't sit Hall. Hill will eat. Tua will struggle. Start Waddle. Start Hall. I'm seeing a lot of things all over the place. I don't see a lot of like Ridley talk though. Ridley had 25 targets last 2 games, only 9 receptions, says Matthew. Hey Smitty, would you start Pollard or Walker in full PPR? Probably Pollard by a hair, but I like both of them. Tough, bro. It's tough. I wish I could tell you this was an easy call. It's not.
I hear you.
I wish I could.
What? We're here. We're in a battle.
Yeah.
And see what shakes out.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the one thing you could say is like, I mean, Hall is very, very volatile and very, very vulnerable to a bad game script. They have a great matchup though. Ridley has been hit and miss all year, but at least T-Law's in there, and there's no Kirk. This is a banged up wide receiver room. They need him to step up big. Ridley could have 2 touchdowns and 100 yards, bro. The part that burns me here is I like Ridley better than Waddle. I think he's more talented than Waddle, and I know a lot of people think that's crazy. Ridley's one of the most talented wide receivers in the league. He's just had a really, really bad season. And part of it, I believe, is on T-Law struggling to connect with him. Part of it's play calling. Part of it's coaching in the beginning of the year, running this man downfield constantly, making him run go routes so that the rest of the receivers could get the easy work. So, like, I really do think Ridley is as good as we thought he would be in terms of, like, ability. But he definitely hasn't produced. But this might be the time he steps up. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Since being one reason I haven't kicked you out the phone line yet is because I'm wavering. I'm going back and forth. I don't know. Like part of me, I'm trying to talk myself into Ridley right now. I really am.
Me too. With Kirk out, I mean, the only thing I don't like is just T-Law's hobbled. One hit and he's toast. But
I just don't want to be sitting here going, I'm sorry about Ridley, bro. He just like if Ridley has a bad game today, you're gonna write him off. That's how close he is to being either your hero or your villain. I don't know.
I haven't looked at it, but I'm assuming that Vegas has Miami Dallas as a higher over-under than Tampa Jags.
Let me tell you what Let me see here. Hold on a second. Let me look at the data across the industry in terms of starting percentages and such for these players. I would say, so from a flex perspective, Breece Hall is about 21 to 23 overall. That's from a flex ranking perspective. So Breece Hall, 21 to 23 overall. That's the highest of the grouping I think that you have. So he should be starting according to the data. Waddle's about 32 to 35. That's where he's ranking. And Ridley is around 43 to 45. So the average person is starting when in that dilemma. They're starting Waddle over Ridley, Hall over both of them. And the matchup rating for Ridley is like a 7.5 to 7.8. The matchup rating for Waddle is a 3.6. I'm just confusing the hell out of you, aren't I? And the Breece Hall matchup rating is 6.8. So the matchups are the matchups in favor of Ridley by far.
Yeah.
The matchups not in favor of Waddle, but that matchup scores also against the team, not necessarily against Waddle, and Hill might see the brunt of that bad matchup, potentially. So tough to say, bro. Very tough to say. Yeah, I do change my mind though. I don't want you sitting Breece Hall. I'm gonna retract my. It's between Hall and Waddle. I think it is between Hall and Ridley. Especially just, talking it out. This is the longest 30-second phone call because I literally am wavering on it. I don't want you to leave without me feeling, you feeling like I've landed somewhere on it. It's a tough question. It's a really tough question.
Yeah, so I'm move Achane up to my RB slot, and I'm gonna move Breece to the flex and see whatever I'm leaning closer to game time.
All right, bro. Appreciate you. Later.
Matty, appreciate it.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Jacob, you're the final caller, and then I got to close the phone line down. Jacob, go ahead. You're live.
Going forward, Singletary or Ty Chandler?
Going forward, I don't know if I can answer that.
Yeah,
I mean, I can answer it, but I don't know how confident I'll be in it because I think Singletary, like if he goes out and has another big game without Stroud, then I'm really loving him the next week. I think
even against the Browns defense.
Well, I just think he's a versatile player. He can catch, he can throw, he can catch, he can run. Maybe he can't throw. So I like him a lot, but I would say probably leaning toward Ty Chandler, at least walking into this week, especially with Stroud being out. So my answer is Ty Chandler this week. I just don't know if Chandler blows up, then it's going to remain. The answer is going to remain Chandler, but I think it's a little hard to answer that fairly, and I could just guess, but I'm just being honest with you. Like I'm going to need next week to decide which one. But if I had to guess right now, I probably say Chandler. But I think Singletary with another big, huge monster game could easily change my mind with ease.
Cool.
I love what Singletary did, and Singletary won that game in overtime. It's just the play got called back. He had a huge game, but he ripped off another game-winning 40-yard plus touchdown, and they called it back, and it ended up kicking a field goal. But had he had that, I think he would have had 150 and a touch. Right? He would have had a monster game.
Right. All right. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Later, bro.
Later.
God, these are tough questions, especially coming down to the wire. All these questions are they're not even 50-50. They're worse. Yeah. How can the odds get worse than 50-50 when you have two players someone's asking between? Somehow they feel worse. Somehow they feel like 40-40. Need one: Connor, Mixon, Barkley, or Aaron Jones. I'm probably leaning Mixon, but again, some of these teams you guys have are just crazy. How do you have Barkley, Connor, Mixon, Aaron Jones all on your bench? This is insane. Mixon, I suppose. Mixon's been playing very well. Elliott or Warren. I lean Warren, but there's risk. Flacco, Browning. I go Browning, but very close. London's value rises with Kirk or Fields. with Kirk or Fields? Oh, you mean next season? Well, I mean either one. But I would say, like, if it was Kirk, you'd be getting. It just depends on the passing attack they deploy. But I don't think Kirk's going. Maybe, you never know. I don't think Kirk's going to Atlanta. But Fields would be very, very solid. I kind of like Fields there. I think that would be a good fit. Sit one, Connor, Achane, Chandler, or Pollard. Probably, I guess, of this grouping, I guess Pollard. Or no, I guess Chandler here. If I had to sit one, I guess Chandler or Pollard there. It's really close there. Start in flex, full PPR, Devonta Smith or Ty Chandler. Probably lean Devonta Smith by a hair, but I love both of them. Need one running back, one flex. Warren, Godwin, Deontay, and Walker. One QB, Lamar or Fields. You can't sit Lamar, in my opinion. I know Fields could blow up, but he could also have a dud game. I'm going Lamar. And in one running back and a flex, I'm going to go probably Walker and Warren. Walker and Godwin safe. Walker and Warren's your higher risk, higher reward play. This one right here, T-Law. I'd probably go Warren, I guess. T-Law or Jake Browning. I'd probably go Jake Browning for safety. T-Law if you need a bigger swing, but you're okay with the risk. You're okay with falling flat on your face and you're not going to get upset or anxious about it. Then T-Law is maybe the higher upside play, but Browning is definitely a tad safer. Darren Waller, Kincaid. Toss up. I probably lean. I guess I lean. I don't want to go against my boy Kincaid right now. We just don't know when he's going to bounce back, and I think he will during the NFL playoffs. I just don't know if we'll see it yet. But Waller might be a touch safer just for right now. Pick 3: Kincaid, likely, Ty, or Aaron Jones. I'm going to go likely, Ty, and Aaron Jones if I'm picking 3. Thank you, JFam. Appreciate you. And this one from Phil, Dak Fields. We go Dak, Gibbs, Brees, White, Jerome Ford. If I'm ranking these guys, let's see here. Two flex spots help. I don't know what we're doing here. I'm going to rank your running backs, but Gibbs and Rashad White are your locked-in running backs. Your locked-in wide receivers are A.J. Brown and probably Rice, to be honest. And then if you have 2 flex spots from that, you're going Laporta over Kittle. You're probably going T. Higgins and Breece Hall. You could go like T. Higgins and Kittle, but I'd probably go T. Higgins and Breece Hall. Waddle, I like a lot as well. You could go Waddle and T. Higgins. Breece Hall and Waddle are very close, as you heard me debate the Waddle, Breece Hall, and Ridley conversation earlier. So, like, Waddle and Breece Hall are almost a toss-up. I guess I would go Hall, and I first thought maybe I wouldn't, but as we started looking at it, I leaned toward Hall over Waddle at the end of it all after struggling for about 5 minutes on the phone with that guy, our buddy. What was his name? I'm sorry, bro. I already forgot your name. Al. It was Al from New York, I think. I'm going to say Breece Hall and Higgins are your 2 flex spots. Phil, appreciate your super chat, my man. Coming in strong. Kincaid, Waller, Goddard. I'm going to go Goddard. Happy holidays, Smitty, KC, or Bengals defense. I want to go KC by a hair, but certainly debatable, my man. Certainly debatable. Appreciate every single one of you. Punch that thumb up button on the way out the door. Can't thank you enough for being here. Deonta Foreman or Chase Brown or hover CEH with Zamir White on the bench in case Jacobs misses. I'd probably go Chase Brown, but super close. Michael K. CPA coming in with a $20 hauler. And I'm sorry, Michael K. CPA, but I am not going to play the $20 hauler for you because you have your own song, but I can't find it. Where is it? Michael K. CPA. This is one of the only guys that has his own, solo music.
He's Michael K. CPA. When you've got bills to pay, Michael K. CPA. He is here to stay.
Michael K. CPA. Winning all my leagues. Your advice says me on cruise control. Michael K. CPA. Michael K. CPA. Appreciate you. $20 hauler. What a man. What a myth. What a legend. And Wallace with the final super chat, I believe, of the night. Pick 2 or the day. Jahmyr Gibbs, Pollard, Hall. Oof. Gibbs is a lock. I probably lean Pollard for safety, Hall for high risk, big swing. But, I mean, I probably land on Pollard. I like Hall a lot this week. I do, but I just worry about game script and all that shit. I'd probably say Pollard and Gibbs. It's a really tough call, bro. Oh, God, how do you sit Hall? Gibbs is a lock. Chat, Pollard or Hall, please vote for Wallace. Wallace, I'm wavering so much. Go with the overwhelming chat vote. Groupthink is one of the most powerful ways to get an answer. So go with the groupthink on this. Pollard, Hall, Hall, Pollard. Please vote in the chat right now for Wallace. He deserves your help. I will see you all probably later tonight after both games. Buffalo Bills, it's going to be an exciting game. Just because we're waiting to see that offense. We got playoff Lenny potentially making an appearance. I'll see you all after the game. Appreciate you.
He's Michael K. CPA. When you've got bills to pay, Michael K. CPA. He is here to stay.
Alex, start Browns, D, Texans, or with no CJ, or KC, or Dallas. I'm going to go, like, the Browns are a good play, though. I'm going to go Dallas D or Browns D. I lean toward just starting. It's so tough, bro. Where's my schedule? It's such a tough question, my guy. I mean, Dallas is so opportunistic. I guess I'm going to go Browns D against Noah Stroud. But that one's close, bro. See you all later. Appreciate you.